Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs. My dear brothers and sisters, very strong words we find in today's gospel. What is holy should remain holy. What is very precious should remain precious. Last Friday, I celebrated Holy Mass in 3 different churches. After a Mass in one of the churches, a volunteer brought a host in his hand. And he said, "Father, I found this under a pew, do not know whether it is communion. And there is no a chance a host to be found under a pew." So what I did, I just took it from his hand and I received it, consumed it in reverence. The young boy got a shock and he was just looking at me. Definitely it was trampled by someone, but still the holiness, the living presence of Jesus is always there. Sometimes, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus, the holy things in our lives become kind of sacrilegious. Sometimes we don't use it very carefully. This has been in our lives too. Sometimes our holiness, our precious life should not be taken for granted. And in today's gospel, you read that Jesus is telling, "Do not throw your pearls before pigs." From ancient time, the pearls are considered very priceless and precious ornaments or jewels the people wish to or like to wear. So it gives them a kind of a brightness, a glittering look, and they become more precious with those pearls. And the pearls are the only gem material taken from a living animal. It's not that easy to take those pearls. It's very difficult. Therefore, it is very precious and priceless. So Jesus is telling not to throw them in front of pigs because they don't know the value of it. And Jesus is again telling, do not give dogs what is holy. The pigs and definitely the wild dogs were considered very dirt, and they did not want to come in contact with them, the people. They always kept aside because they are dirt. Not only that, but also they could bring a kind of unholy things to the lives. Therefore, Jesus is telling, what is holy, keep it holy. It should remain holy. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27, we read that God created us in His own likeness and in His image. That holiness is in us. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 4, we read, God tells us, you are precious in my sight and important. I have loved you. So in the eyes of God, we are very precious. That holiness is in our lives. And we should not take it for granted. That holiness is always renewed in our daily life. Through our baptism, through the sacrament of reconciliation, through the Eucharist, and through all the sacraments, we are being renewed become holy, sometimes this holiness in our lives is not properly handled. I am created in the likeness and image of God, and I'm important, I am very precious in the sight of God. So I should feel that I am an important person, that holiness should remain in our lives. And another important thing that we read in the gospel, Jesus tells, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. We personally like to be appreciated. We like that others love me, that they take me as a precious person, an important person. So I expect a lot of things from others. How do I treat them? How do I love them? How do I give the same importance to other person? Sometimes I like to grab everything, that I want to be the main person, that I want to be an important person always. But God is asking all of us. That's why Jesus says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. I loved you as the Father loved me. So Jesus is asking in our day-to-day life, whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. A good example of this phrase we see in today's first reading. Abraham and Lot. There was a dispute among the servants, and they need to be separated. And Abraham tells Lot, you choose where you want to go. If you go on your right side, let me go on my left. But if you choose the left, I will choose the right. Then Lot sees the beautiful faraway place, very green, very pasture, and he chooses that place. And he goes to that most beautiful place. Abraham continued his life, his journey, but Abraham was walking with God. God did not leave Abraham empty-handed. Abraham always experienced the great blessings from God. And Abraham tells the last part of the first reading today, look at the blessing that Abraham received from God. He allowed his own brother, he allowed his own cousin to take or choose the better part. But he was awarded by God with a good life. So today, let us continue to reflect and see, how do I remain in the holiness? How do I handle holy things? And my own precious life before God, how do I